All right, hopefully this fakakta thing ain't gonna crash again. Oh, that was really annoying. Nothing going on. Checked all my extensions, all my settings. Everything else supposedly is supposed to be good. Grrr. I might actually have to do something stupid like actually update my technology and use something newer. I mean, I do actually have laptops and stuff like that, so I can update to one of those. I mean, the biggest problem is whether the technology that I currently have is still compatible, or if things are glitching up bad enough that. eh, so that's really annoying. Anyway, so back to it. Let me go back into my Facebook feed yet again. Um, so let me log back in. So, I literally cleaned out all my cache. So hopefully that's got that doing it what it needs to have doing. So hopefully everything is going to be working on that one. I'm going to have to cheat now. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit here, so give me 1 second. I'm actually now having to log into a disused um, Gmail account. So let me go over here real fast, and I have multiple Gmail accounts. Some of them are strictly just for security interludes. So, essentially that I can basically backlog myself and go and, do things that I need to do. So let me go over here real fast. And unfortunately, I have it set up in such a way that um, I gotta log in and cheat on my various things here. Hang on a second here. That one should be that one. Hang on a second here. It's like everything all at once, and hopefully I now can do everything I need to do. Unfortunately, I'm like literally doing everything live 5 by 5, which is sometimes quite annoying. So I'm actually logging in, like I say, basically a disused um, email account. So I'm now actually having to log back into my Facebook using the disused uh, account. Hang on a second here. So let me keep myself honest here. Um, Hopefully that is correct. And now waiting for it. Not going to do that. Hopefully it logs me into Facebook again. And yes, yes, yes. So unfortunately, I have to log in. I have to log into all of my accounts yet again, and some of them are old passwords, some of them are new passwords, just to keep everything completely interesting. There's some instances where I really, truly have just made things more complicated than they really, truly need to be, and there's actually one trick of the trade that I've heard people tend to do, and that's they use a thumb drive. And with the thumb drive, they'll put the passwords on that. Then, essentially they go to a website, they jack the thumb drive into their computer, and then they use the thumb drive as a quote unquote key to store the passwords. They don't have to worry about remembering them. I might actually start doing that, just so I have like, a just in case, because trying to look up, oh, where did I put it this time and which file and where in my computer? And then if your computer's crashed or you're not at home, how do you make all these things happen? I mean, it can get really, really messed up if you're looking 50 different places to try to find one thing. All right, so let me scrolly. Keep myself honest here. Keep myself honest. I got a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of memes. So I've been having, some fun with this stuff. Okay, so I'm now back current and I can go back further. This I find absolutely hilarious. And I don't know if anybody's actually really even heard about this one so much. Just give me a sec. Still got tiki juice. Anyway, so there was a demonstration in the Google CEO's office. And They were occupying the CEO's office with anti-Israeli demands. Now, I cannot do this justice, folks, just how screwed this is. These guys are now in the office. They're positing the notion that, well, it's so offensive that, Israel is blah, 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 and the Hamas guys are so this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, truthpress.com, Google employees arrested while occupying the CEO's office with anti-Israel demands. Now, it gets better, folks. So the employees broadcast their protest on, quote, no tech for apartheid, end quote, Twitch live stream. The video showed that given the opportunity to leave voluntarily, they did not. And they were arrested by police for refusing to do so. So anyway, one guy said, quote, it's getting kind of late. I wanted to ask you, to cooperate. You've been placed on administrative leave, and we'd like to see you leave here voluntarily. It's been a while. Can you just do that for us? So they didn't do that. He then threatens to call law enforcement. Employees state they understand. Seconds later, the police walk in the office and detain them all before the live stream cuts off. So it gets even better than that, folks. So the protests they announced in the internal emails to employees that shared a list of demands included that Google drop its $1.2 billion contract with Israel for Project Nimbus, a cloud computing project of the Israeli government. Demands also include that Google cease all business with the Israeli apartheid government and military, stop the harassment, intimidation, bullying, and silencing of Palestinian and Muslim employees, and address the health and safety crisis among workers who were rattled over labor being used to enable a genocide. I think, guys, you're kind of barking up the wrong tree because that's not going to really fly. But it's even better than that because so these libtards demand freedom of speech and the ability to protest and chuck up society when they shut down roads, but not in Google's CEO offices. And I'm still laughing at the hypocrisy when these guys do these things and get chucked out on their asses. That is blanking hilarious. Hubris, irony, I don't know. There's all kinds of good phrases you can put on that one. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this one, but supposedly, Trump visited the bodega, the guy that had to use deadly force, and very welcoming crowds. Everybody was really stoked to see him. Well, Joe Kaka went to visit a Sheetz in Pennsylvania, and he was ceremoniously pretty much ignored. The people that were forced to interact with him, well, they did interact with him. But those people who were just sitting around was like, oh, that's Joe Kaka. Yeah, he's the reason why my bank account's hurting right now. And they gave him exactly the amount of respect that it was justified for with those actions. Zip, zero, nada. He got none of it. Just give me 1 second here. Scrolly. Megyn Kelly. Okay, now Megyn Kelly, I really have not been a fan of hers. I always thought she was kind of a suck up. Pretty much just not aligned along the political aspect of which she predisposed herself being with Fox News and all the rest of that stuff. Or pretty much just was just an every person and willing to just, follow anybody's piper, as it were. But Megyn Kelly got brutal fast. So Megyn Kelly did not mince words when dealing with CNN's Jeffrey Toobin. As well as part of the left-wing commentary, Toobin's notorious for an incident which happened back in 2020 when he was caught, how would you say this without saying this? Well, he got caught doing something to himself that he shouldn't have been doing in public, okay? It's kind of like the old line from one comedian. It's like, yeah, there's your pecker. Don't show it off in public. So basically got busted pulling one out during a Zoom call with colleagues, claiming he didn't know the camera was on. So he took time off during the incident, during which returned following the year. Officially exited the network in 2022, although he's appeared regularly on the network since then. He remains determined he's remained determined to rehabilitate his image and opine on events of the day, even writing a book about right-wing extremism. So on Wednesday, Toobin attacked the integrity of Justice Clarence Thomas when he allegedly played down the significance of January 6th protests against the 2020 election fraud. Well, here's what he said in a tweet. In an argument today, Justice Thomas is minimizing the severity of the 1/6 insurrection at the Capitol, perhaps because his wife is part of the conspiracy too, and right on an X platform. What a disgrace that he's sitting on the case. Well, Megyn Kelly was having none of it. Quote, "Hi, Tubin. FYI, you waived your right to use the term disgraced about other lawyers when you took your dick out of your pants and jerked off in front of your colleagues," she responded. In terms of the writing, Kelly's post has nearly 3 million views. Tubin, meanwhile, has locked his replies. Yeah, because he got caught being a friggin' pervert, and they basically called him out for what it is. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this one up, but supposedly Zuckerberg, and I'm using that phrase very politely because I just refer to him as a dirty ass mother Zucker. But anyway, so Zucky is showing off his latest appearance, and well, the way it shows is essentially Zucky is well, it looks like he's trying to do a rehab on his image, and there's no other way to express it except for what it is. So let me just show you guys what he looked like previously to what he looks like nowadays. And I cannot do this justice except for simply calling it for what it is. But he looks like, well, he looks like a bad guy in how would you say this without saying this impolitely? He looks like a bad 1970s yeah, he looks like a 1970s pop star or like a book cover moron. That's about the only way you could really express it. So let me try to make this thing work here. I'm trying to really, really cheat here. So let me try to make this work. Of course, I know sometimes the value of the illumination on my phone just kind of drives my camera bonkers. So this is what he looked like previously, and that's what he looks like now. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to express it for what it is, but what it is, yeah, I'm going to have to simply say he's now an author of a new book, How to Be a Better Asshole Than Anybody Else That You Encounter. And that's being polite because I have possibly one of the lowest possible opinions of Mark Mother Zuckerberg of any human being currently on planet Earth. I find him lower than whale feces. Scroll. This one I think is very interesting. I have to say that this African nation is now saying that the United States military is, well, they're not their Niger. They are just not their Niger. I'm using the correct N word. So I'm saying Niger. They are not their Niger. So the African nation moves to expel U.S. military after receiving training worth millions in a major setback. So the Biden administration began the process of removing U.S. troops from Niger through a timeline, and the effort is not immediately clear. Okay, comes right down to it. Essentially, if you're not our buddy, you're not our friend, and you're not beholden to do those things to help support us in the bad times as well as the good times, you don't get our aid, you don't get our comfort, and you sure don't get our military support. The T600s and rubber skin. I've seen that post before. That's yeah. The T600s had rubber skin were easy to spot. Yeah. So now he's a T800 Terminator. No. I'd say he's basically a T69 assholeinator. That's pretty much about really all he's got. This one I think is kind of hilarious. If you go to the YouTube homepage and you got suggested videos and playlists and whatnot, they're suggesting I watch my own channel, Mix 80s Podcast Channel. And it's some of my more popular videos and some of my newer videos. And I just think it's hilarious. They're suggesting that I watch my own stuff. Scroll. I can say essentially, concerning Joe Kaka's statement about his uncle and how much he's really pissed off those people in Papua New Guinea. I can say I am marked safe from cannibals today. Let's see. Scrolly. This one I think is beyond hilarious, and this is something they've been saying this for a while now. So AmericanJournalDaily.com, they're saying There's ample signs to suggest the 2024 election won't be anything like the 2020 election. While Joe Biden and Donald Trump will be on the ballots again, Biden can't count on the same factors to sweep him into the White House. Now, I say the sweep that swept him into the White House was artificial. And you can look at the actual scaling of it. Normally, you don't see election results scaling, and then shoot skyward. That's not how things work. Truly, that's not how things work. So Biden will have 4 years of problems weighing him down. He continues to lose support among trusted Democrat voting blocs, including Black and Hispanic voters. Despite all the lawsuits and trials thrown at him, Donald Trump looks to be in good position as we near November. Most Americans seem to doubt the legitimacy of these criminal trials. And now, the new report is revealing Biden is losing a must-win demographic. From the post-millennial, recent polling shows that former President Trump is continuing to gain the support of young voters. In the latest Harvard Youth poll released this week, the former president received the support of 37% of those polled between the ages of 18 and 29, compared to 45% for President Biden. At the same point in 2020, Biden held a 23-point lead among these voters, according to Politico. Now, the other thing, too, you have to remember the other side of it, too. These young guys are going, I have the choice between two old guys. And they look at Biden and look at Trump, and they go, Biden is not all there. Trump is actually, able to engage. He can go, extemporaneously. He can go and he can speak, and it's not an issue for him to engage, back and forth, have an intercourse with other people. He can actually do those things he needs to do to engage and be really, truly on point. Joe Kaka, without a teleprompter, without a speech, without cheat sheets in front of him, without a whole bunch of guys going, Mr. President, take this right, take this left, go talk to this guy in the blue suit. Yeah, blue suit. Yeah, right. Yeah, over there, blue suit. Yeah. It just doesn't work. And also, you can see, too, there is the positive decay of his mental faculties. Just casual observation. He ain't there. He's not there. Patriot Fever, appreciate you coming on by. I don't know why this thing kept crashing. I literally cleaned out my cache, reclocked into everybody, had to reclock into Facebook. So I'm now basically, hopefully with a clean slate, doing it yet again. The only thing I could think of is the buffer was full. My RAM chips I think my RAM was kind of kirking out a little bit. And I don't know. It's an older computer. So, I kind of have the little glitchy things, I guess. It's really kind of an older computer. I really probably need to upgrade to something better for doing actual online type stuff for, broadcast. I mean, I got a couple of laptops. I probably could just, use one of those instead. I probably should, but coming in from where we are right now, I'm very beholden to an older technology, and I still know it intimately. And I know when things aren't running right, I kind of have a feel for it. It's kind of like the car when you're driving, you're like, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, then something's up, and you can start looking at things. Anyway, so scrolly. I am not a fan of this crap in any way, shape, and form. But supposedly the Democrats were flying the Ukrainian flag in the House. Okay, you're flying any flag in the House that's not the U.S. flag. I got to use the old Army line that a buddy of mine told me he picked up from basic training. You are 12 up and 4 down. You are just 8 the F chuck up. That is just wrong. Wrong. Patriot Fever, I don't know about grounds for treason, but there is now some legislation they're sticking in there, hopefully sticking in there in the next piece of big village, and they can hide it in some place where it will be law. It will be written in stone. You may not do these things. Excuse me 1 second here. It's not treason per se, but it's definitely it's something you're not supposed to do. Kind of like Fetterman showing up in running gear and shorts and stuff and sweats when you're supposed to be in a suit. Yeah. This one I think is absolutely hilarious. So this arrogant CUN Toledo, Letitia James, you ain't getting any more money. You're not getting any more money. $175 million is enough. And a judge has now ruled against Letitia James, saying that Trump's $175 million judgment bond is enough and will stand. You're not taking his property. That is enough. I got to show you guys a picture of this one, but this one also coming in from Yahoo. And I'm just gonna cheat on this one. It just seems to be easier doing it like this. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat. So give me 2 seconds here in which to do some minor editing, and I shall show it to you. All right. So essentially, obviously, we got the Key Bridge collapse, which is literally like 4 miles from my house. So 4 miles from my house, the Key Bridge is still down, and it's got no way to get the ships through there. The Dundalk port is really not doing so great right now. So essentially, they're now trying to get it cleared out. So what are they doing? They're going to call out and they're going to bring in the claw. Yes, they have this huge dredging claw that's going to be cleaning out the debris to make a deeper channel, which should be open on Thursday. So, coming in Yahoo News, Baltimore great crane meet giant claw. Giant hydraulic grab arrived in Baltimore over the weekend as officials began a new phase of efforts to clear the debris of the Francis Scott Key Bridge to commence after a planned Thursday opening on the deepest alternate channel through the wreckage yet. So, the claw will be attached to the Chesapeake 1000 crane and will work as a vital part of the debris removal operations at the bottom of the Patapsco River in the next stage of operations, said Coast Guard Petty Officer Michael Himes, a spokesman for the Key Bridge Response Unified Command. A set of 4 hydraulic claws weigh 165 metric tons when empty and can hold up to 1,000 metric tons, according to the Dutch manufacturer, the grrr specialist. So the grrr comes as a 35-foot channel is expected to open, allowing larger vessels to travel into the Baltimore harbor and salvage operations to start to pivot towards clearing debris from the harbor's 50-foot main channel. The new alternate channel will be the deepest of the temporary routes in the harbor, and the port of Baltimore has been blocked by most vessels traffic since the cargo ship struck the column support on March 26, causing the 1.6-mile bridge to collapse and killing 6 construction workers. And so essentially going on and on and on. But they have this massive claw now, and the problem about that part of that river, it's sludge. It is literally all silt. It's mud. It's like, oh God, I forgot how many feet you actually got to go down to hit like bedrock and stuff. It is, oh no, Patriot Fever, the amount of weight known as one Lizzo. Oh man. Wow. It is a one Lizzo load of silt and crap being picked up by this giant claw. Patriot Fever, I have only one question to pose to you. 1,000 metric tons. That's you know what? Let's do the math here real fast. Let's just do the math real fast. How much is 1,000 metric tons in pounds? It is 2,204,622 pounds. Dang. You're a little high there, Martina Sasquatch. I read it as 200. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get myself straight here. 2,204,622 pounds. A lot. A freaking lot. And that's just one scoop. And you really have to do it right. So you got to use 2 scoops. It's like making Raisin Bran. Well, it's good guess, Martina Sasquatch. You're a lot better off than I am, because I forget how much a metric ton it actually is. It's kind of like the statute mile versus a nautical mile, 6,000 versus 5,280. It's one of those things that'll mess you up. Also, a nautical mile is 1 knot. So only used on planes and boats. We don't mess with knots on ground and land. And okay, I'm sure probably some engineer guys like that. They have to engineer the Porsche to go faster. It has to do at least 240 knots. Dude, are you flying the Porsche or are you driving the Porsche? Anyway, so they got the massive claw coming, and it's going to look good. Now, this is what I find completely disgusting that Yahoo tends to do is they tend to use the worst possible picture they could find for Trump. And they probably literally caught the guy in the middle of like a step outside where he's like, kind of, oh,